Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Almost as good as Elvis.
You getting homesick?
I am getting a little homesick. For those of you that, hey, we're back. We're doing 2 in a row. This is going to start happening more. Get used to it. We teased it. D-Roy is going to hit us with some Vegas magic.
Adam's always the tickler, always the teaser, always the pleaser, always the squeezer.
The Wendover Wet Dream. The Vegas Nightmare.
What happened to those guys? Remember there was that, I don't listen to a lot of sports talk anymore. I mainly podcasts and have Apple Music and stuff. But back, 5-10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You listen to sports talk radio. And there's always commercials for, it's usually for like erections and divorces. I don't know if you put that one together, but like you can or can't get erect. And because of that, you're going to get a divorce, I guess. I don't know. That seems to be a big advertiser on those places. In the mix to that, there was this thing called the Vegas Nightmare that was like this algorithm system that you could go buy, and you could figure out the teams that were going to win mathematically.
800 lose me at all.
Yeah, like you pay somebody. I never looked into it, believe it or don't. I'm guessing it was several $100s, if not thousands of dollars.
Well, I may or may not know how the system works.
And so you go and pay. But it wasn't a guy, because there's also guys that call in and like, hey, this is Slick Rick down here, and I got to win them. And if I don't win it for you, you $9.99, and it's a sure lock of the week. And I'll throw in some other picks. But if it doesn't win, I'll refund your money. Something like that. Never going to happen.
You get one free game, and then they'll tell you.
Then they're always like, educational purposes only, or whatever. It's like, this isn't gambling advice, like covering the bases. But there's the system that was called the Vegas Nightmare, to where you'd, I guess the computer would calculate, all your wins, and you have like the locks of the week, like 4 or 5 for sure games. I'm assuming it's how it may sound, and you can go down to the casino, put them in, and you'd just be banking it, man. You could put the house mortgage up, and house would be paid off in 2
I'm
weeks.
not doing that again.
I'm guessing that's what happened with a lot of people. This was before. The good part about where we live and the bad part about where we live is limited gambling opportunities. Of course, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. Work pools, a lot of work pools going.
Hey, no, there's not.
I happen to know there's some college opportunities for guys that like to get together and compare notes to maybe say, hey, you did very well this week. I'd like to buy you a candy bar. This guy I work with buys everybody dinner every week. He's just like, hey, here you go. I'm happy for you and your kids.
Rhymes with Lourdes.
But as far as going actually to a casino and placing bets, we have to travel. And I think a lot of people do. But now there's apps and things. And, of course, there's different apps. But I had to stop on my way to Vegas in Arizona because Vegas, you can't make them on your phone, but you can make them in person. But then you got to go redeem them in person. The nice thing about Arizona is you can bring up, like a DraftKings, for example, make your sports bets. Now, if they happen to win, you can't bet in our state of Utah, but you can take your winnings and put them back into your account, so you don't have to go redeem. Anyways, there's a lot of moving parts and things like that. This Vegas Nightmare was supposed to be a system, and you get all your bets and parlays and whatever, and you put them in, and you probably pay them a monthly or yearly fee. I'm not even sure, and have access to their system. Obviously, without doing any research at all, I haven't heard about them in a few years, Adam, so I'm guessing it didn't work.
The craziest part is, as we get talking, like it says, we're sporadic. We used to be on game. Like, we're 5 years of putting time and effort into this. We're well over 250, 300 episodes.
Where did that get us?
We still have thousands of people that listen to us.
They got us right here.
On a monthly basis.
To where we want to be. It got us to where we want to be.
We love every one of you that listen to us.
We really do.
Clamor. It's just like you're in the room with us, and we appreciate it. We love some of that feedback. So that being said, that's why we give Derek. We're close enough that Wendover is across the line. That's closer than going to Las Vegas.
We used to go there every year this time of year, and the last couple of years we have not. Like, you guys are getting mature on me. You're like, well, I can't. The company responsibilities. I got to go sell things.
Oh, go.
And other people are like, I got a family and a mortgage to pay. And like, exactly. That's why we're going.
That's exactly where we're going. Well, that's why Derek's Wendover,
WD. You already said it, but
WD is.
it was because of the Vegas Nightmare.
I know. That's a ripoff of it. So,
But if you did have a system like that, this is where I always come back to. If you're really that good, like, you'd just be doing it. You wouldn't have to sell it. Like, if I had found something to sell on eBay going back to our original roots of the show, and it sold like hotcakes, and I could just do it, I would say, hey, pay me $20 and I'll show you how to make $1,000 a month. I just sell like 20,000 of them a month, and
and then
that's how it works.
Yeah, so that being said,
into our system, exactly. If you want Sherlock's of the week, educational,
Sherlock's,
entertainment purposes only, for $100 each a week,
$99.97. That's the magical
number. You can get Adam's lock and mine, but that's two separate fees. You got to pick who you want. But we will give you the guaranteed lock of the week. No results are not guaranteed and varied, but it's a guaranteed lock of the week from one of us in whatever sport you want.
Derek's last was LSU over USC while he was in Vegas. So
guaranteed.
How now your Vegas experience? That being said,
oh, it's always great, man. Here's the thing. This was a little more of a business type trip. We have the other show. Jimmy's going to be in here shortly. I'm going to recant the same story with him to some extent. But the good thing was, Vegas is one of those places that's always different. It always changes. Whenever you think you got it down, there's something else going on. And I think that's a good metaphor kind of for life. Like, you should never get to a point to where you're just stagnant and rolling, and your system of sales, your system of how you do things, yes, you need to get it down to what works best for you, but don't be so locked in that you can't adapt and change and do things to make money or business better. That's what Vegas does. They find what's working. The trend is they go that way. They'll blow down a casino. They'll build a casino. They'll put ladies dressed up as cows down on Fremont Street, or they'll have high-end gentlemen's clubs for people like Adam and big bucks to go to.
False.
You don't have big bucks. Okay. And they'll build systems around that. So it was good. It was Labor Day weekend. I was 17. I got me a Coke and a gasoline, and we just went down to the county fair. It was crazy because everything's going on there. So I usually get offers for rooms, get pretty good rates or free rates, or multiple places want my business. Not this time, Adam. And I was a little more Adam Beesley than Derek Everitt, kind of like waiting till not quite last minute, but I started calling around and had my flyers and stuff. I'm like, hey, can I get a room? And they're like, no, we're sold out. I'm like, well, this is like a week away or whatever. And like, yeah, we don't got any rooms.
It was a tough weekend. There was a lot going on down there.
There was a lot going on. Went down for the Killers.
Bayou, baby.
But we, they had a 10-day residency going. But when you pull into town, you have like, I don't know if you're familiar with this man called Marshmallow, a little DJ.
I've heard of him.
He was there. Little John was there.
Oh.
Who else was there?
The LSU USC game was at Allegiant Stadium.
LSU, USC. There was a
lock of the week.
A lot more LSU fans than USC were there that I saw and interacted with.
It's because USC doesn't have fans.
Well,
they're all fair weather.
They'll be there this week.
That they will be. Who are they playing though? They're playing Utah State.
Remember when we went down? So last year, me and I went down to the Utah USC game
at the
Coliseum. It was about, halfway through the first quarter, maybe second quarter, and you just see people funneling in like they were like bringing in the Hollywood extras.
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you see these rallies on TV that are supposed to be a lot of people.
A lot.
And they bring in they just pump in buses of people. You're like, how does this guy get these people? We've never seen him. They bring in buses. That's what was going on at USC.
There was something like the
bus loads.
There was bus loads. And they were just like storming in.
And they were all coming in the same section.
So like they didn't pay the same price that me and Adam there.
No.
Yeah, so that's going on. There was like 5 or 7 different concerts plus the after parties and the DJs and the clubs and.
A lot going on that weekend.
A lot going on. Plus, Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
And people on vacation. And I tell you, I know you've told your story about digging ditches and pools down in the From Desert.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it gets hot down there.
Really?
It was like 120.
Really?
And I'm like, I'm glad I'm not digging a pool out in the desert.
It gets hot in the desert?
Believe it or don't. And it doesn't cool down at night.
You ever heard of this place called Death Valley?
Does not cool down at night.
Especially in Las Vegas because that asphalt retains all the heat. At least in P-Town, we didn't have back then. We didn't. I grew up on a dirt road. I don't know if many people can still say that. And it wasn't just like our driveway. Like all of the roads were dirt roads. Like when you got to the pavement, you're like, yeah, baby, this is good time.
This is, somebody paid their taxes here. The county's been here.
And that was even before chip seal. And they had to spray stuff to kind of make it be pavement. Yeah, we didn't have, like they sprayed down like some weed spray.
I actually had a dirt road on the going east to west.
Yeah.
Where I grew up. In my Nephi house.
Okay.
From house.
Yeah.
I moved around a little bit.
We don't want to. In fact, even I'm going to throw this out just because I can.
My first house is now a parking lot.
It was I want to say like 1990, 1991. It was only a 2-lane road up and over the hump to Pahrump. You'd still turn on Rainbow Avenue, and it was still a dirt road. Like a dirt road, because there was nothing out there. Now Vegas sprawls up and over the mountain. It goes way west, way east.
Summerlin and all that.
Like, yeah, there wasn't it was the Strip. Like, that's all there was. And we took the monthly journey on a Saturday into Las Vegas to get groceries. So I don't want to deviate from your Vegas story.
Heidi Fleiss.
Yeah. Whoa, she wasn't there yet.
You were there early.
I know. I'm totally. We're like pre-MGM Grand. Like, there was nothing. We didn't have anything.
The crazy
there.
part, and it's always the crazy part, but the land value. Everyone says, "Well, if we would have known, we would have bought it up and we'd be." But nobody, somebody does. But
we were buying because my dad was building houses, and an acre and a quarter for $1,500.
Yeah, and what's that worth today?
100,000.
So. Say Pops would, about 3 or 4 of them, he'd been doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is you barely had the $1,500 to buy it at the time.
Well, going back to the previous episode, that's why you put your statement up there on the fridge.
Exactly. See,
you say, my dad couldn't even buy him a plot of land.
That's right.
So, anyway, yeah, we went down there, got a rental car, did the whole thing. We just had a good time, Adam. And here's another. I got a lot of stories. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and forth, but. There's a guy I follow on the Instagram who I wanted to get on here. I've had some interactions with, and due to our schedules and how he may or may not have a consistent schedule, we haven't had him on the show. But he lives in a trailer down there in Vegas. He's just decided a mobile fifth wheel.
Comstock Park. I have lots of friends from there.
I don't know where he lives exactly, but
that's a Pahrump.
Okay, well he's probably spent some time there. But anyways, he's decided he's going to be a guy that lives out of a trailer, drives around, but he sells things on eBay to pay his lifestyle. And he's been down in Vegas pretty much for the last several years. He hit a Deseret Industries, and
yeah, baby,
he got all these cleats, baseball cleats. And he got looking at them, and they some were like samples and looked like prototypes. He's like, that's kind of weird. Some say BH, and some had like the Vegas skyline, and some had Velcro on the back. And come to find out, they all look like they were from a man named Bryce Harper.
Oh.
May or may not be game used Bryce Harper.
What?
Cleats. Bryce Harper from the Vegas area.
Aye.
And he's a member of the
ecclesiastical organization.
He's a member of the church that owns the Deseret Industries.
Okay.
So he's thinking that maybe Bryce Harper's family or spouse or I don't know if he still has residency there.
He was cleaning out house.
Donates his bunch of cleats to the Deseret Industries. They end up on the shelf. This guy happens to walk by the same weekend I'm there, not doing thrift shopping because I wasn't, and that would have been perhaps a place I would have went. Who knows? Hard to say. But he finds him a treasure trove. Like I mean, we're talking several pairs of Bryce Harper cleats. May or may not be game used, may or may not be sample prototypes. He's still doing some research on it, but guys looking at, a couple $1,000 a pair if they are that way. So that's a long way to get to where we got. But
you never know what you're going to get thrifting. Is that the moral of the story?
Yeah. Sometimes you can still hit them treasures, man.
So apparently they're going back to the days of $5,000 lots. In Pahrump, you can get some for $5,000. Now, granted, it has no water. It's not close to power.
So basically, where you grew up.
We at least had power and water that were coming there, but yeah.
Take that cabin money. I know you just may or may not have had a transaction where you had a cabin sell. And go back down there, go back to your roots, make your kids go down occasionally on vacation and just say, well, this is how I grew up. This is how I had it.
Yeah, we'd be getting a divorce at that point. Cause
I said your wife has to. I said take your kids.
Okay.
Your wife can stay in the AC.
On my every other weekend and Wednesday nights.
Yeah. Because of the Vegas nightmare.
The Wendover WD.
Adam is now Adam's single man.
Yes. So you had lots of good time in Vegas.
Yeah, so we went down, went to the concert. We were able to have some cool experiences. Yeah, I'll get into that more in the other show, I think.
Well, we got to ask, though. I mean, there's some pretty unique pictures that not everyone gets a chance to do.
Everybody has a chance to do. So sometimes you got to, a few people, you got to pull a few strings and ask a few favors.
I'm going to ask because, and I don't know if you'll actually give me the truth. Did you see the guy?
No.
You didn't get to meet the guy?
The guy's busy.
Didn't get to even talk to the guy.
Busy.
You got to talk to the guy who knows the guy.
You got to talk to the guy that knows the guy. It's one of those things that if you push, you probably could have, but it's like you don't want to burn.
He's there working.
At some point we will. Yeah, he's there working. It's a work day.
Yeah.
It's towards the end of a run. I mean, you got to figure.
Because you want to leave it open. You want to leave the conversation open for there's timing.
Their timing is huge. The guy that the guy that we did talk to had been there for a month.
Okay.
Living out of Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, that's...
Like, it's just,
As cool as that sounds when you're 22, it ain't that cool when you're 42.
No, it's not cool when you're 42. You have a family, you stayed away, you got stuff going on.
You've missed your every other weekend and Wednesday nights.
Every other weekend. And what do you... I mean, it's great for... Like I'm saying, we go down for a couple... It's great. You lose half your paycheck. You're like, that was stupid. Yeah. It's like, we'll do it again in a month or two. Or... You get lucky and you make half a paycheck. And you're like, that's awesome. I can't wait. But you get out of town before you spend it all.
Yes.
Like a month, man. Think about that.
Well, good for you.
Living out of a hotel room, it's just not great.
Well, like I said, you live and you learn. You enjoy life. Going back to the previous episode, we talked about retirement. You got to enjoy life, too. You got to have opportunities to have fun because... You just never know at what age you're not going to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah, there's a certain age, again, the diminishing returns. But there's a certain age to where you either can't or don't want to do a lot of stuff that you can. And you might think, well, once I get 65 or 70, I'll just go live on a cruise ship and I'll whatever. You might not be here. You might not be able to walk. You might have, the kids might be living in the basement. You might have... Who knows?
Mom's spaghetti. What's something about one shot you get? Or
yeah, it's just one of those it's one of those weird things because it's like you want to have enough to make it there. You gotta have a little buffer, but you don't want to have too much access. This is gonna go to whoever anyways. So
you got a lot of different things.
You weigh out them options.
So that being said, D-Roy's always gonna have a good time in Vegas.
We're always gonna have a good time. Maybe someday we'll have. Here was the other thing. The other show we had a meet and greet type thing with me and Jimmy. And, man, meeting people that listen to your show every week. I know we kind of had interactions with people, but we kind of gambled on this one because we're like, hey, we're going to be here at this time in front of the place if you want to come say hi. And you never know if it's going to be, we're expecting zero.
Fanfare.
But you get some people there that are like, hey, listen to you every week, love the show. Can we get pictures? That kind of thing. That's really cool.
Again,
and who knows, man?
Going back to all we see is this, padded room, and we look at each other, and the thousands and thousands of people,
millions and the millions,
the million and the million. What? Again, I say if we were to put these in a high school gymnasium and people are just sitting around listening to it, that's what the world has become to with podcasts.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you think that way, that there's people, I mean, and you say things and you talk about things and people bring that up and you're just like, how do you, oh yeah, you know that because I talked about it.
You just start. And those of you now listening, we appreciate it. You're getting the beginning episodes. Derek and I are working on that Kelsey Brother $100 million Amazon podcast thing.
Yeah,
so
working on it.
Just know that when you guys start hearing us on those platforms, just know you were the original OGs.
And we won't forget about you.
Oh, heavens no. We will name you by name.
Matter of fact, when we get that deal, I'm going to say something now that might be a little controversial.
Okay.
I know you like to get your cut of the pie, but when we get that deal, if you're an OG and can prove that you've been a subscriber since since now, from this point,
Yes.
you can start now.
2024.
We will give you our lock of the week for free.
Our luck of the week.
Free for life.
Free for life.
If you can prove, lock of the week.
And if you multiply that, you take your mortgage on your house and, you get it, because we're right, 4 out of 10 times.
Oh, 10 out of 10, easy. Lock of the week. Not our upsets of the week. You're thinking of the other tier.
Oh, upset. Yeah.
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, the money line, that being said, you listening now is really going to make you a millionaire. Like, that's just what
That's
it's
just
going to do.
common sense. Just good common sense.
That's your lock of the week.
If you want to retire, stick with us, kids.
That's right. We are your retirement plan. That being said, D. Roy, there are 2 things in life that are certain, my friend, and that would be
Deathpiles and taxes.